AC Milan interested in loan for Marcus Rashford. Look, it's January. The transfer window is officially open. We're trying to wheel and deal. We're trying to get Marcus Rashford off the books. Amorim deems him surplus requirements. Milan want a loan move, one of those things where United's paying him to play for another team. That's not the best deal on the table. Look, Saudi could be interested. Ornstein coming out as well saying, hey, the rumors about him not going to Saudi Arabia, those aren't exactly true because who else can afford the wages? So Marcus Rashford rumors heating up, not as much smoke as you'd like to get an upfront purchase price.
Well, he's not the asset he once was. He's not going to demand the same transfer fee, and there's a lot more baggage around this player beyond just the injuries, the off-field antics, and the lack of effectiveness up front scoring goals. So this is going to be a creative one. This is going to be one where you'd want a DOF in place. I guess it's all going to be on Jason Wilcox to get this done, but this smells more towards the reality of what we're looking at than the Osimhen swap deal. Yeah, I'd love an Osimhen swap deal. Who the fuck wouldn't? Seriously, who wouldn't? But no, that doesn't. Come on, bro. We're not getting fucking Osimhen in January for Marcus Rashford. Straight swap. Yeah, what you smoking, man? I'm breeding. This is more like us paying a huge amount of his salary to go to Milan and then maybe have it transferred to a permanent deal in the way that Sancho did with his
That's not a good deal.
Of course, it's not a good deal. But we're not gonna get a good deal, sir. We're not getting a good deal,
sir. Here we go.
It's all about bucks,
That's
kid.
it, baby.
The rest is conversation.
It's all about bucks. And Marcus Rashford's move is all about bucks. It's all about who's going to pay the most amount of money. Manchester United want to sign Victor Osimhen. We need to sell Marcus Rashford for money. We need someone else to pay his wages. It all comes down to the cash with Marcus. What's the best opportunity? Look, obviously Saudi Arabia would be number one. To hear Ornstein come out and say the rumors about him going to Saudi Arabia, that he won't go to Saudi Arabia are not true. I mean, this is big. Today, he says, I'm told that reports of offers being turned down from Saudi Arabia for Marcus Rashford are not really accurate, which means he's not turning them down. And that is a huge signal that there could be a deal. Because look, Saudi, they bought a lot of players. They spent a lot of money, but Marcus Rashford is that type of talent, that type of player that could take their league to the next level. And Marcus doesn't want to play that hard, and that league's not that good. And he makes a lot of money. So, look, it all works out, and United can get a little bit of that cash, sir. And so, ultimately, Saudi Arabia would be the best deal that United could get, and one where we could get some money, get his wages off the books, and go in for a player like Osimhen that can change the game. Because right now, Marcus Rashford is not even on the bench for Manchester United. That tells you how bad it is. So, he's definitely going. Whether it's AC Milan and we're paying his salary or Saudi Arabia with a little bit of cash, he's probably headed out the door.
And that's what should happen. And it's sad to say, it's sad we're here, but based on the fact that he can't even get into the squad, he shouldn't be around. It's just a bad influence to have. They had the players training, warming up. I think when he did make the squad against Newcastle, and he wasn't part of the starting 11, and there was just a casualness to that second group. So I think you want to get players out who are not fully invested. I think Marcus Rashford made it very clear. I mean, he already had fallen out with a new manager within 2 weeks of him showing up, and that speaks to a player that just... He's not in it to work hard. That he just isn't. I mean, let's be honest. Marcus Rashford, this hurts me as a player. I really had a soft spot in my heart for Marcus Rashford a couple years ago, but the fact that he was willing to
he gave the fans the bird.
The fact that he was willing to just throw up his toys and say I'm good after this new hotshot manager came in so quickly speaks to what he's about. And you know what? Saudi Arabia would be a perfect fit for him because it's fucking hot, but nobody watches the games and it's a joke of a league and they'll pay a shitload. So he fits the profile there because at this point you're buying him for the player he used to be. You're buying him for the brand that he used to have near him because all the stuff about, feeding kids in 2020, a lot of that goodwill has gone out the window, especially United fans who are giving him more than enough leeway. Saudi would be great. I just don't see them buying. I just don't think they're making... They won the World Cup. They don't have to spend dumb money on propping up their phony league anymore. So I think it's going to be a loan deal with us paying half his wages to Milan. That feels
upside
accurate.
would be I want to get something for him. I want to get him sold. I want to get the wages off the books. I want it done this January. This whole loan to buy Sancho thing doesn't help United right now. We need money. It is all about the bucks, and getting Rashford off the books is going to be super critical. And he's in the press everywhere. There's another story from Laurie Whitwell where Marcus Rashford is also known to feel he does not behave differently than other footballers, but faces much more scrutiny over his social life. This is Marcus Rashford is just kind of whinging, and he's whinging on the pitch. He's not doubling down and working hard, right? Like, I would be ignoring the noise. We've seen him respond to people on social media like a lot to criticism, and I feel like he just needs to get his head straight. He seems to me like a young man who's confused, right? Like going to Belfast and missing training when you're getting paid as much as he is, it just doesn't seem his head's on straight. And when you're focused on social media, the general media perception, whether you're treated fairly or unfairly, you're at Manchester United. The bar's here. Like, you're going to get more scrutiny being at United. Is that fair? Probably not, but it's the reality of the situation. So if you want to be the all-time goal scorer for Manchester United, you want to win 21, that should be the least of your concerns, right?
He's clearly lost his way, because like I said, I think that a lot of it's a product of just like the spotlight on United is different. It is different. Like, it's so funny. They're like doing this thing on Sky Sports between Carragher and what's his name, Neville, like about who's bigger, Liverpool or United. Like, it's United because look at the way United players are talked to versus Liverpool players. It's like he's on a different platform because United's a different type of club than every other club that plays in England. It's just the facts, Jack, and that is part of the deal. You're like the young hotshot,
you got it, Jack,
academy protege that comes out and is the highest paid player of the team, as much as a Casemiro, as much as a Bruno Fernandes. There's going to be big expectations. So like he gets a lot of scrutiny, but he had earned a lot of goodwill up until probably the last 12 months, probably before Belfast. So he needs to move on. It's better for everybody. And United needs just to get back to players that are willing to like forget the ego and just work hard. Amad Diallo, player that just like embodies what it means to just wait for your moment and then fucking grab it. Because everything we heard off the pitch is that Amad Diallo is just a worker. And I think that's what it takes. You want to be a great player. Forget it. You're not going to get there without working hard. Even like, the players who are brimming with talent, it still takes like grafting week in, week out. And I think he's lost his way and he needs to move on. And you know what? I hope he finds his feet elsewhere, but I have concerns he won't.
No, and look, with Marcus Rashford, it is sad, but I feel like we're beyond the sad phase where like there were like lows, right? It was kind of like, hey, he flipped off the fan. All right, had a bad year. Okay, how are you going to come back the next year? And then he went to Belfast and like missed training. And then you look at the club in Belfast he went to, and it's just like, are you all right? Like, that's not a good, like the club was like not, if you were in Vegas with if you were in Vegas with like LeBron or something and you like missed the training, it's like, okay.
It's a UK thing,
but
sir.
It's like he's in Belfast at like a really kind of dungy club. It's like, you're like, this is not worth it. And then also him not even getting up for the next manager is just kind of like it's clearly the situation at United is not good for him. Marcus should move on. United is obviously moving on. And, look, in Saudi Arabia, probably won't get as much attention as he does in the UK. And maybe that's what's good for his game. Maybe that's what he needs to kind of get back. So at the end of the day, who's going to buy him? How much are they going to pay? Drop it in the comments. What do you think about Marcus Rashford? Where did it go wrong? And what can United realistically get for him in January? Please like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.